Hi, I'm Kel from Kel Made It, and I thought today I would do a little tour of where I work, which is in my house, and I have a few areas of it that I keep all the things that I use, all my materials, and I have quite a few different machines, so I thought people might enjoy seeing what it is that I use to create the things that I make. I will let you know that I do live in a house with 4 other adults. 3 of them are my children, the other one's my husband. My husband's at work. My kids are almost always home unless they're working or at school. So there's a little bit of noise from time to time, and I can't really do much about that. And I also live here with a cat named Meeps, which many from the String Theory Fabric Art group know very well. And I have a dog named Toast, who's sitting right next to me right now, because he does not like to be more than like a few feet away from me at any given moment in time. He's a little attached. So he tends to make a little bit of noise sometimes too. So if you hear some noise in the background, I'm very sorry, but we do have a house here that there's other people living in, and it's not just me. So let's take a look around and see where it is that I work and what machines I use. I'll start here. This is my newest addition. I just got this yesterday, but I have had a machine like this in the past. This is a Juki DDL 8700. It's a lock stitch, straight stitch sewing machine. It doesn't have a walking foot, which is fine for my needs for this machine. I got it because I mostly make plushies. I do make bags, which this machine is great to do linings on. So I have this machine here. I have my thread wall, which you can see up there, which has all my different threads for sewing. If I go pan up a little bit here, you can see the shelf that I keep my zipper tape, or some of it on. A lot of it's in another place, but those are my most used colors and finishes. And then I'm gonna pause for a minute so I can take the camera down, because now we're gonna walk around a little bit. Okay, so now we're on the move, and I'm gonna pan over. This is the tablet that I keep my Google Drive on, which is how I read the instructions for the patterns I'm working on. I find it's easier to have them all in there than to have a bunch of paper booklets printed out all over the place. I have different pens, scissors, supplies in that. This is my Thor 1341 cylinder arm. So when I'm making bags, this is where I do most of the exteriors that would be made with leather or vinyl. You can kind of see behind it my Minky fabric bolt wall. And then over here is my ironing station. It's a cart I got at IKEA a long time ago, and I just threw some wool pressing mats on top of it, and it's worked great for, I think I've had it like 4 years now. It's worked wonderfully. Up here I have my work list of things that I have planned. Actually, I can erase one of those since I finished it this morning. So I have items, then I have if they're cut out, embroidered, and if they're sewn. Anything that's up here is things I plan to do or that I already have waiting for me to sew up. And then we'll come around. I have this cabinet over here that has some odds and ends in it. And then down my front hallway where I have these IKEA sorters with bins, which is what I keep my pre-cut things that I've spent days. I hate cutting things out, so that's what I cut a bunch of things at once, and then I stick them in bins, and then I can sew them up whenever I'm ready. And then I have my serger up here and another one of my sewing machines, one of my backups. I have many. And then we go into what is technically the formal dining room of my house, which clearly is not a dining room. And I have my snap/rivet presses there on the wooden foot press stand that I made for them. I have some bookcases that has all my bag hardware in it. All the different finishes. These bins down here have some plastic cam snaps and some other bag hardware. Mostly rivets are in those. I'll pan back out again. And this is my Minky wall for all my plushies. Now you'll notice there's no neutrals really in here, no black, white, gray, brown. That's all in my bedroom, which I will not take you to because it's a mess. This is another one of the sorters for keeping prepped projects in. And then going around, my kitchen is through there. As you can see in my room, if I kind of just do a quick pan around, this room has a lot of doorways, but no doors. So I don't have the ability to just shut the doors and forget that it exists for a while. So I tend to try to keep it reasonably organized in my own chaotic way. And then over here, I have another bookshelf that has various supplies in it, cording, different interfacings, some waterproof canvas, foam, fleece, all that good stuff. My heat press. This board has a lot of the acrylic bag templates that I tend to use quite often. And then I have my cubbies for my vinyl storage and my rulers for cutting. And then I'll pan back out. And this is my new cutting table. I used to have a much bigger one that those vinyl cubbies sat under, but it just took up too much space in the room. So I scaled down, embroidery stabilizer, and then these tool carts are fabulous for keeping my embroidery machines on. And I can keep my hoops in the drawers, and all my threads are all organized in here. And I have a drawer for certain pre-cut size stabilizer, but I have a Brother PR1050X 10 needle machine. Had that for about 5 years. And then this is the newest edition, which I did a video on not too long ago. This is the Happy Japan HCS3 1201 12 needle machine. So we're getting acquainted. I've done quite a few projects on it so far, but we're still learning all the ins and outs of it. A laptop in case I need it. My power supply, just in case the power goes out on me. My embroidery machines are plugged into that. My super tall trash can, which most people think, why do you have to show a trash can? But I love this thing. I can just sweep trash right off my cutting table into the trash can. Let's see, I have a little air compressor for cleaning up. And then this is just my Minky scraps. So that's where those stay. Oh, and then we'll come toward the hallway. Oh, there's Toast. Hi, Toaster. He's still a puppy. He's still a puppy. All right, and then we'll go over here. This closet here, it's not the best looking closet. This is where the rest of the zipper tape lives, as well as webbing and packing supplies for when I need to pack orders. So now we'll go back to where we started. I have an extra little heat press here from when I first started doing things. And then you can see the sewing room, as I kind of panned around there, is actually my living room. So yeah, my family is very much used to me working while they're just, you know, hanging out. I have a little shelf with some of my favorite gifts from my family up there. And my little heat hand press. This little guy works great for pressing the bottoms of bags after you finish them. And then on here I have all my zipper pulls and fold over elastic and my bag tags, and down underneath is the pellets for weighting plushies, and I have tons of zipper pulls in those bins there. So lots and lots of things. So hopefully you've enjoyed our little tour and you've kind of seen where I make it all work.